Jaya Gopidana Vallabha Girivara Dhari Jaya Gopidana Vallabha Girivara Dhari Yashodanandana Rajadana Randana Yashodanandana Rajadana Randana Jamuna Tira Vanachari Jamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Radha Madhava Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Radha Madhava Jaya Gopidana Vallabha Girivara Dhari Jaya Gopidana Vallabha Girivara Dhari Yashodanandana Vrajadana Randana Yashodanandana Vrajadana Randana Jamuna Tira Vanachari Jamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Kunja Bihari Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jaya Radha Madhava Radha Madhava Radhe. Jaya Radha Madhava Radha Madhava Radhe. Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Prabhupada. Gaura Pimanande. Swayam Vishnupada Paramahamsa Pri Radhagacharya Stotra Satta Sri Srimad His Divine Grace Chiraboy Charanarvind Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda Ki ISKCON DBT Founder Acharyas Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada Ki Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur Ki Samavata Bhakta Vrinda Ki Hare Nam Sankirtan Ki Granthara Srimad Bhagavatam Ki Jai Nitai Gaura Primanande. All glories to the assembled devotees, all glories to the assembled devotees, all glories to the assembled devotees, all glories to Sri Guru, to Sri Gauranga, all glories to Sri Prabhupada. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Gyananjana Salakaya Chakshurunmilitam Jena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha Sri Chaitanya Manobhistam Stapitam Jena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Juta Padakamalam Sri Gurun Vaisnavam Sya Sri Rupam Satrajatam Sahagana Raghunatan Vitam Tvam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalita Sri Visakambitam Scha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopisha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kancana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Suti Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vansakalpa Tubhyasya Kripa Sindhubhya Evasya Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Narayanam Namaskritya Dharam Chaiva Narotamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudirayad. Before reciting the Srimad Bhagavatam, which is our very means of conquest, let us first offer respectful obeisances unto Narayana, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, unto Nara, Narayan the Rishi, the Supremost Human Being, unto Mother Saraswati, the Goddess of Learning, and unto Srila Vyasadeva, the author. Nasta Prayesha Vadrishu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Tamashloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naistiki. Bhagavatam, and by rendering a service unto the pure devotee, all that is troublesome within the heart becomes destroyed practically to nil, and loving devotional service unto the Supreme Lord, whose praise with transcendental songs becomes established as an irrevocable fact. Idam Bhagavatam Nama Puranam Brahmasamitam Utamashloka Charitam Chakara Bhagavan Rishi Nishreyasaya Lokasya Dhanyam Swasyayanam Maha. This Srimad Bhagavatam, known as the Grantaraj, the king of all Vedic literatures, is the transcendental incarnation of the Lord. It is compiled by the incarnation of the Lord, Srila Vyasadeva. It is meant for the ultimate good of all people. It is all successful, all blissful, and all perfect. Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Surabhyai Namaha. Om Surabhyai Namaha. Om Surabhyai Namaha. Mukam karoti vasanam pangom langayate girim. Yat kripa tamaham vande Sri Gurum Dinataranam. Yat kripa tamaham vande Sri Gurum Dinataranam. Hare Krishna. Welcome to our daily Bhagavatam class, continuing from canto number 2, chapter 4. And today we are reading text number okay. Yes. So text number 8. We read one portion of that, but we didn't read the Sanskrit, so we will do text 8, Sanskrit and translation. Nunam Bhagavato Brahman Harer Adbhut Karmanah Durvibhadyam Iva Bhati Kavibhish Chapi Chestitam Nunam Bhagavato Brahman Harer Adbhut Karmanah Durvibhadyam Iva Bhati Kavibis Chapi Chestitam Nunam Bhagavato Brahman Harer Adbhut Karmabhihi Harer Adbhut Karmanah Durvibhavyam Iva Bhati Kavibhis Chapi Chestitam Nunam Bhagavato Brahman Harer Adbhut Karmanah Durvibhavyam Iva Bhati Kavibhis Chapi Chestitam. Nunam Bhagavato Brahman Hare Adbhuta Karmanah Durvibhavyam Vibhabhati Kavibhischa Pichastitam Nunam. Still insufficient Bhagavataha of the personality of Godhead Brahman O learned Brahmana, Harehe, of the Lord, Adbhuta, wonderful, Kalmanaha, one who acts, Durvibhavyam, inconceivable, Iva, like that, Abhati, appears, Kavibihi, even by the highly learned, Cha, also, Api, in spite of, Chastitam, clock, being endeavored for, yes. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki. O learned Brahmana, the transcendental activities of the Lord are all wonderful, and they appear inconceivable, because even great endeavors by many learned scholars have still proved insufficient for understanding them. Kindly repeat after me. O learned Brahmana, the transcendental activities of the Lord are all wonderful, and they appear inconceivable, because even great endeavors by many learned scholars have still proved insufficient for understanding them. Purport. The acts of the Supreme Lord in the creation of just this one universe appear inconceivably wonderful. And there are innumerable universes, and all of them, aggregated together, are known as the created material world. And this part of His creation is only a fractional portion of the complete creation. The material world stands as a part only. Ekam shena stito jagat. Supposing that the material world is a display of one part of His energy, the remaining three parts consist of the Vaikunta Jagat, or spiritual world, described in the Bhagavad Gita as Madhama, or Sanatana Dhama, or the eternal world. We have marked in the previous verse that He creates and again winds up the creation. Aham sarvasya prabhavu matas sarvam pravartate iti matva bhajanti mam buddha bhava samanvitaha. So Krishna explains in the in the Bhagavad Gita how He is not only the creator, He is the creator of this material world, and He is the maintainer of the material world, and also the destroyer. This is 10:8, chapter 10 of Bhagavad Gita. I am the source of all spiritual and material worlds. Everything emanates from me. The wise who know this perfectly, perfectly engage in my devotional service and worship me with all their hearts. So Parikshit Maharaj is asking this question to Shukadeva Goswami regarding the creation. Lord Krishna is explaining here in this verse that those who perfectly know, the more we know about the inconceivable, we cannot know. We cannot know. Inconceivable means cannot conceive, cannot understand fully. Just like Krishna is telling, or Srila Prabhupada rather, is telling, we can never fully know Krishna. Something we can know. But the more we know, then the more we begin to understand how wonderful, how great is the potency of Krishna. Even this one planet or one universe in which we are living. So this is being mentioned here. What is, yeah. So we have marked in the previous verse that he creates and again winds up the creation. Just like in Indonesia, there is one special mountain, probably special mountains in many places, but people, they come to this mountain in the very early morning because there's one place on that mountain where one can see the sunrise. It is very ideal place because actually to see the sunrise even before the sun rises, even before we see the sun, so many colors you've seen, you know. When we live in the city, underground, we don't see the sun. But when we live more natural, simple way with nature, then we can more appreciate Krishna's nature. So many people, they take picture of sun rising. Even before the sun rises, we can see in the sky all many colors, very nice colors. It means that actually, just like we see one nice painting, one artist, he will make nice painting. It will take him many hours, sometimes many days, sometimes many months to make one nice painting. But Krishna is making a painting every second, isn't it? Every second we see, especially in the morning, also in the evening. Sunrise is very attractive, and sunset. Sunrise and sunset. Those who are photographers, professional photographers, they are looking. They know that the best time to take picture is morning or late afternoon. Noontime, you don't get the shadow movement. Yeah, the what we call variegatedness. There is variegated means variety. Variety means so many. Every moment practically changing. So that means that actually as Krishna also explains, I am the ability of man. Krishna is explaining in the Bhagavad Gita. Whatever we can do, that ability to do, uh, uh, the artistic ability that some people have. Some people, by nature, they can draw, they can paint very nicely. By nature, some people, they can sing very nicely. By nature, people can play mridanga. Other people can never learn. So that ability of man is coming from Krishna. So in modern day society, people, they don't have time. They don't take the time to observe nature, to appreciate nature. Because behind nature, behind the creation is the creator. Behind nature is the origin or the source of this nature. We say Mother Nature, Mother. For Mataji to become mother, there must be father. Mother only when father will be there, isn't it? Yeah. So that is one reason why in Vedic culture promotes and encourages and teaches that we should live more with nature, that we should be more in harmony with nature. We should be connecting with nature every day. So in this way we can, because we cannot see Krishna being fully spiritual, transcendental, but we can see Krishna through the workings of his nature. Of course, some people they get lost in nature, and then people who don't know about God, they will be attracted because nature is very attractive. But one who is intelligent will ask where all this is, how this is happening, where it is coming from. So here Prabhupada continues, this action is applicable only in the material world because the other greater part of his creation, namely the Vaikuntha world, is neither created nor annihilated. Otherwise the Vaikuntha Dham would not have been called eternal. Yeah, so the point is that this material nature we can see is so wonderful, so attractive, so mysterious in so many ways. Just like this tree is growing here. In the middle, then after some time, the leaves will come out. Just like in America, because now it is winter. Now we are in the month of March. Month of March. Today is 12th, 12th of March. Still so much snow is there in Canada or in Russia or in northern countries. They have snow. And the trees, no more leaves, all the leaves. In Canada, on the flag, they have what is called maple leaf. It's a leaf of what is called maple tree, one kind of tree. So before winter, when it starts to get cold, slowly, gradually, all the leaves, they turn color. Very beautiful. Turn color means they're dying. So it's beautiful, also not beautiful. So all the leaves, they die, and then the tree will be without any leaves the whole winter, 4 months, 5 months. Then when again it begins to be warm, another miracle happens. It means actually that miracle happens every second. In the material world, every second a miracle happens if we take the time to notice, but we're too busy. What is that miracle? I saw that miracle in Canada one spring. In the springtime, when the weather starts to warm up, then all over the whole country, within a very short time, all the leaves start to come out. For 4 or 5 months, no leaf. The tree is like naked. Only you see the branch. Then within a very short time, within a few weeks, it's very nice, very attractive. All the leaves in a miraculous way, that's Krishna's potency. So that's why many people, they make video, they make film on nature, the wonders of nature, because material nature, Mother Nature, is very wonderful, very attractive. That is because it is being directed by Krishna. The Lord exists with dham. So material world is attractive, spiritual world even more attractive. This is being mentioned here. The Lord exists with dham, his eternal name, quality, pastimes, entourage, and personality are all a display of his different energies and expansions. Yeah. The Lord is called Anadi, or having no creator, and Adi, the origin of all. So he's simultaneously Anadi and Adi. We think in our own imperfect way that the Lord is also created, but the Vedanta informs us that he is not created. Rather, everything else is created by him. Narayana Paro Vyaktat. Therefore, for the common man, there are all very wonderful matters. For the common man, these are all very wonderful matters for consideration. Even the great scholars, even for the great scholars, they are inconceivable. And thus such scholars present theories contradictory to one another. So we'll just go to the last portion that we did not read yesterday. Prabhupada will be referring here to some scientific discoveries. He was quoting various discoveries of different scientists and professors, and mentioning how, according to some scientists, it must be like this in Mars, like that. So Prabhupada continues, this adaptability of an organism to different varieties of planets is described in the Brahma Samhita as vibhuti bhinam. Prabhupada is connecting what the scientists are speaking about to what is already written in the Shastra. That is, each and every one of the innumerable planets within the universe is endowed with a particular type of atmosphere. And the living beings there are more perfectly advanced in science and psychology because of a better atmosphere. Prabhupada is telling here that we think we are very advanced in science, but there's on other planets, people are more advanced. Just like the demigods, isn't it? They have so much more knowledge. They can do things that we cannot do. They can fly with airplanes. They have biman using different birds. We cannot do that. We are using steel and iron, and then it crashes and then finished. Vibhuti means specific powers, and Binam means variegated. Scientists who are attempting to explore outer space and are trying to reach other planets by mechanical arrangements must know for certain that organisms adapted to the atmosphere of Earth cannot exist in the atmosphere of other planets. Prabhupada is making reference to his early book, first book he has written, Easy Journey to Other Planets. One has to prepare himself, therefore, to be transferred to a different planet after being relieved of the present body, as it is said in the Bhagavad Gita 9:25. Yanti deva vrata devan pitrin yanti pitri vrataha bhutani yanti bhuteja yanti mad yajinopimam. Translation: those who worship the demigods will take birth among the demigods. Those who worship ghosts and spirits will take birth among such beings. And those who worship me will live with me. Maharaj Parikshit's statement regarding the workings of the creative energy of the Lord discloses that he knew everything of the process of creation. Why then did he ask Shukadeva Goswami for such information? Maharaj Parikshit, being a great emperor, a descendant of the Pandavas, and a great devotee of Lord Krishna, was quite able to know considerably about the creation of the world. But that much knowledge was not sufficient. So Prabhupada is telling Parikshit Maharaj, he was not ordinary person. He was descendant from the Pandavas, and he was a pure devotee. He was the king, the emperor of the whole world. So many things already he knew. Therefore, why he is asking Shukadeva Goswami. So this will be explained here. He said, therefore, that even great learned scholars fail to know about that, even after great effort. The Lord is unlimited, and his activities are also unphantom. Even though we may know something, there is always someone who knows more. So Parikshit Maharaj could understand that Shukadeva Goswami, being so exalted, could explain more about the creation. The Lord is unlimited, and his activities are also unphantom. With a limited source of knowledge and with imperfect senses, any living being up to the standard of Brahmaji, the highest perfect living being within the universe, can never imagine knowing about the unlimited. We can know something of the unlimited when it is explained by the unlimited, as has been done by the Lord himself in the unique statements of the Bhagavad Gita. When Arjuna wanted to know about the Virat Rupa, universal form of the Lord began to explain, and only the Lord can explain his unlimited potencies. So this point is nice here. We can know something of the unlimited when it is explained by the unlimited, as has been done by the Lord himself in the unique statements of the Bhagavad Gita, And it can also be known to some extent, from realized souls like Shukadeva Goswami, who learned it from Vyasadeva, a disciple of Narada. And thus, the perfect knowledge can descend by the chain of disciplic succession only, and not by any other form of experimental knowledge, old or modern. So Prabhupada is explaining, we cannot understand the inconceivable with our limited, imperfect senses, with our limited, imperfect mind, with our limited, imperfect intelligence. We can only understand the inconceivable. We can only understand what is beyond our limited, imperfect tools, the senses, the mind, the intelligence, by receiving that knowledge from the unlimited, means from Krishna. Krishna is unlimited. Krishna is the source of all knowledge. Krishna is the source of all energies. So therefore, this is the Vedic process. In other words, we receive and accept knowledge not only of the spiritual world, but also the material world. This is important. One may say, okay, spiritual world we don't know, so if it exists, it is reasonable to say that we can accept from revealed scriptures. But this applies also, means because not only the spiritual world is created in a very inconceivable way, but also the material world. Material world, there's still so many mysteries. The material world is still full of mysteries. People today, in 2022, actually, in today's modern world, there is still argument whether the earth, the planet, the earth, it is flat or it is round. What is your opinion? The earth is round or the earth is flat? Round. No. The earth is, that is a great mystery. The earth has features of both. If we study that's what will be depicted in the Vedic planetarium. Yeah. The temple of Vedic planetarium will depict the universe, and we'll have some vision. It is subject matter which takes a little bit of time and cannot be understood so easily, but there are many people who are completely convinced that the earth is flat, even today. And there are others who are telling, no. And this argument has been going on since a long time, many centuries. Anyways, that's a whole other subject matter we'll not get into right now. But so in other words, it means that even material things we cannot understand so easily, even we see them. Just like you're sitting here, I'm sitting here. Between you and me, so many things we don't see. But so many things are there we cannot see. Yeah. So our ability to see is very small, very limited, very imperfect. But we become very proud that we can see. We cannot see or understand very much. Therefore, we need to adopt or accept the process which is recommended in the Shastra, and that is why, see, the Shastra, simple thing, the teaching in the Bhagavatam or in all the Vedic literature never changes, isn't it? This Bhagavad Gita, 700 slokas, were spoken 5,000 years ago. Even before that also, millions of years ago, Krishna explains, to the sun god. And we are still reading the same. The same knowledge, the same information is there. Because it is perfect knowledge. So therefore there is no need to change it. But ordinary knowledge, other knowledge that is coming from mental speculation, that is always changing. Different theories. So that means that process is not the proper process. That process is imperfect because it is changing. Whatever is changing all the time means it is asat. Shastra is sat, means eternal, of eternal nature. So because we are also sat as spirit souls, we should be more interested to know what is sat and to read and study literature and cultivate knowledge that is sat also, coming from that source. Okay. Jai Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki, Jai Srila Prabhupada ki, Gaura Premanandi.